Another blood-red sunset and yet another moon phase, and still another 100 miles to my next resting place. Driving down the road, eyes on the horizon. Within my car, I'm all alone, but feeling good and feeling strong, knowing that this path I'm on brings me to myself. I'm driving.
Hey now all, I'm Joey C. Welcome back to another episode of Spirit Sherpa. This is the show that helps and encourages you on your journey to unlock your magic mojo. With me, as always, is the Spirit Doctor, Kelle Sparta. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Joey.
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm actually awake.
Oh, that's very good. That is very good.
Hell of a concept, I know.
Yeah. You know, sometimes talking about white and black magic will do that.
Yeah, go figure.
Go figure. So we're doing a little bit of Spirit Sherpa explanation today. Yes. But then we're also doing sort of a live example of some energetic work.
Yeah. So it's kind of harkens back to episode 4 where we did the actual setting of an energetic circle. Yeah. You know, we remembered that had happened when we were talking to Brenda. Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, we haven't done that in a long time, like over a year. So yeah, let's do it again. Let's do some magic. Let's do some actual magic on the podcast. And there's some limitations to what we can do magic wise over the podcast. Right. And this is the perfect time to talk about that right after the white and black magic section. But, in addition to the, permission piece, which is easy enough to solve by saying, hey, if you don't want to be part of the sound healing, don't listen to this episode. Big surprise there. Now it's all white magic. Yay.
Just to that point, we haven't even said it yet, but Kelly just said it. We're doing sound healing stuff today.
You said that.
No, I said we're doing something energetic. I actually didn't ever say sound healing, and I just realized it when you went into it. I don't think I said sound healing. So now you know. Now the cat's out of the bag. The
cat's out of the bag. We're doing sound healing today.
We were going to wait until we were like 15 minutes into this episode before we told you what it was. You were just going to be like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, we're doing sound healing. So there's a limit to what we can do over the internet because for safety reasons, right? I don't want to do too much, but I do want to, and I want you guys to know I'm actively in the thought process around how do I amp this up to the next level for you so that we're not just talking about it, but we're actually doing it. Yep. I'm feeling into what it takes to do that. So I'm planning some guided meditations and, maybe some energetic options for people. I'm not sure how that would work on a podcast. I was thinking about, inviting people onto the purple plane and seeing who shows up. That would be an awful lot of dead air while we wait for people to show up. So I don't know how that's going to work. I'm not sure that would work. So we'll think about it. But we're going to do some sound healing today. And I think it's a particularly appropriate thing to do at this juncture. Mm-hmm. One, because there's so much healing that needs to happen right now in the world. And 2, because I've just finished training my ritualist trainees, my people who are going to be the coaches and facilitators in my system. Yeah. And they've just finished their sound healing training. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's very up. Yeah. And I just love to do it. So
let's start out by giving sort of a baseline for those who don't know what it is. What is sound healing?
So our entire energy field is made up of vibration, mm-hmm. and our emotions impact our vibration because emotions have their own vibration, right? And every time we interact with somebody or something around us, it has its own vibration and that impacts us, right? Mm-hmm. And so sound healing is about tapping into the energetic of the vibration and impacting that vibration in a way that brings about healing. Okay. And in this case, you can do this work one-on-one, but we're not doing that today, obviously. What I'm going to do is the same thing I did on episode 4 when we cast the circle. Then the thing that made Joey go hubbada, hubbada, hubbada was the fact that I actually cast the circle around everyone who will ever listen to the podcast. And that's how I knew the podcast was going to get big, was because the energy to put that circle up was huge.
Yes.
So huge that scrambled Joey's brain for a minute. But, so I'm going to be doing the same thing today. I'm going to be tapping into the morphic field of everyone who will ever listen to this episode. And I will be doing healing for that. And because we live in the eternal moment of now, I can do that. I don't have to go forward or backward in time. I can just tap into the universal eternal moment of now and say, everyone who's ever going to touch this episode, here we go. Yeah. That sort of thing.
So is there anything that people need to do emotionally or energetically to prepare to go to a sound healing or to receive a sound healing?
Well, so the first thing I'm going to say, especially if we're doing this over the air, is don't be driving.
Okay. It's a very, very good caveat, Kelly.
Super important. This is not an episode to listen to while you drive to work. Okay. So this one is one you listen to when you are in a quiet space without distractions. Turn your phone ringer off, including the vibrate function. But better yet, download the episode, put it on airplane mode, and then listen. Yeah. Tell everybody in your house it'll leave you alone for 20 minutes, right? The upshot is that what you want is you want to be quiet, and you want to be still, and you want to be uninterrupted. Okay. If you're doing it in a room with other people, so if you and your partner or your family are listening to this together, do not open your eyes. Because, and again, you're sovereign beings. If you want to open your eyes and watch each other, that's your choice, but you're going to be out of the experience. Right. When you become the observer, as we talked about in the last episode, you are not having the experience. You cannot both observe the experience and have it at the same time. It will pull you out of the experience. You have plenty of time to look and observe the experience after it's complete. You can go back and review it later. Yeah. And what happens when we open our eyes, I highly recommend you keep your eyes closed throughout the process, because when we open our eyes, we leave ourselves to go out into the world, into whatever it is that we're seeing. And it actually starts a thought process about the things in our vision. This is particularly true if your house is not in perfect order and you're thinking, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that and and off you go, and now you're not in the experience anymore, right? Or if there's somebody across from you having the experience, you'll be like, ooh, I wonder how they're feeling this. And now you're not in your experience anymore. Stay with your own experience and you will get more out of this. Now, the other thing I'm going to say is that with sound healing, it is not like a singing bowl sound healing. I'm doing vocal sound healing, which means you're only going to hear my voice. And what that means is that some of the sounds I make may be pretty. Some may not be pretty. Some may, in fact, sound like hacking or coughing or choking, or, I may make noises that sound like wind, or, I may laugh and giggle. I may talk in tongues. You don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Right. The sounds are not going to be what you think of if you've been to a sound healing that's done with instruments of any kind, tuning forks or singing bowls or, whatever. It is not going to be like that. Okay. When you work with things that are specific tones, they are designed to bring you into energetic alignment with those tones, which has its own form of healing. Yeah. But it is not going to be the same type of healing as you get when you do something like this.
So we are ready to start then. Everybody is not driving. There's nobody driving. People are positioning themselves into places where they can take sort of an opportunity to immerse themselves into the experience of a sound healing.
And if you aren't there, then get there now.
Hit pause.
Hit pause.
Hit pause, and then get yourself
play again.
situated. Well, hit pause, get there, and just take a minute to sort of take the stress away from, oh, I got to get to a place. Because people do that. They're like, oh, I've got to go and, sit in the bathroom for 20 minutes or something like that. I don't know what they're doing. I don't want to picture them.
I was going to say, I'm not sure that I would do this on the toilet.
No, that could get dangerous too. But anyway, they're getting themselves there, and they're like, okay, go. And it's take a minute to allow yourselves to calm, collect, and let Kelly sort of bring us there. Now, I am going to completely mute my microphone here. So this is going to be all you, so we don't get any other sound but you.
Okay.
Ready whenever you are.
Okay. Shejayawayana, Shejawaya, Eyawatayana Watoa, Eya, Eya, Hey, 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 I know you're not ready to come back yet, but we're going to have to bring you back now. Feel yourself in your body. Feel your feet on your floor. Feel your butt against the seat. Notice your breathing. Deep breath in with me. There we go. Go ahead and open your eyes. Welcome back. So Joey, how you doing?
That was wonderful. That was really awesome. And I think that everyone is going to appreciate having that opportunity to sort of sit back and just sort of take that all in. Well, I almost feel like I need a nap now.
You'll wake up in a minute. It's okay. I didn't want to have, huge amounts of dead air, but, I brought people back a little bit earlier than I would have in a live event.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you'll settle back into your body in a minute. The work we did when I tapped into the morphic field, the work that was there to do was grief work. And so the first half was clearing the grief, and the other half was soothing and filling refilling the empty spots that I cleared out from the grief with love.
It was definitely felt. I know for me, and I'm sure that all of our listeners are going to say the same thing. We're going to have to put a caveat in the title of this thing. Don't listen to this while driving, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So, Kelly, can you do sound healings with folks remotely as well, or do you typically only do them in live events? I
can. I can do them. And we almost always do them as part of our retreats.
Yeah.
But I can do phone sound healings for people. Mm-hmm. I don't tend to do them longer than, roughly what we just experienced, because, anything more than that, and I don't want to not be in presence with someone. Right. Because, there's big things that can move as a function of the sound healing work that I do. Mm-hmm. I did a live event here in Richmond last month, and, I had a room with, I think there were 7 people. Mm-hmm. And one of the women, I only give them, like 5 minutes in the chair by themselves, and everything else is group. Yeah. And one of the women in that 5 minutes, just an entire structure of trauma came out. That was significant and had to be processed in that moment. So I tend to not want to do a huge amount of sound healing over the phone just because of, but what yes, something this amount of time, we can do.
Excellent. All right, folks, I'm sure that there are going to be questions. You have lots of things for Kelly, and all of them you can put into the after party, the Spirit Sherpa Facebook.
You can't think again, can you?
The Facebook Spirit Sherpa podcast after party group. And also what might be cool there is if people share maybe some experiences they've had at sound healings. That would be a really cool thing in the community for people to share. Or
of this sound healing. I would love to, this is the first time I've done this at a distance.
Right. This type of group.
Yeah, it was so much fun for me to hear from Brenda how she was like, oh no, I felt that circle cast when I did that. I was like, oh, okay, glad to know that happened. Yeah. So it's fun for me to hear back from you as to how that impacted you, if it impacted you.
Yeah. So definitely join us in the Spirit Sherpa podcast after party group on Facebook, where you can put those experiences there. And really, I think we're just going to close this up with a subscribe and rate. And thank you all for joining us today, because this has been truly a wonderful gift that Kelly has given us to be able to experience that together, because I think that was pretty powerful stuff. Yeah. Did you have anything you want to say to people as we sort of roll out here?
Thanks for listening. Yeah. And, if you have any questions, give me a shout.
Okay. All right, folks, that is all that we have time for this week, but be sure to join us next time as Kelly adds another chapter into your guide to energy, magic, and the spirit world. I'm Joey C., here with Kelle Sparta, and you have been listening to Spirit Sherpa. So long, everyone.
Bye.
Each mile I travel over 13,000 now, I'll leave behind a little fear.
Spirit Sherpa is the sole property of Kelle Sparta Enterprises and is distributed under Creative Commons BY-NC-ND 4.0 license. For more information about this licensing, please go to creativecommons.org. Any requests for deviations to this licensing should be sent to KELLE@KELLESPARTA.com. That's Kelly@KelleSparta.com. To sign up or to get more information on the programs, offerings, and services referenced in this episode, please go to KelleSparta.com. This episode of Spirit Sherpa has been produced by Honu Voice Productions.